very sunny day here, which is great. Day 7, we are on team part 2, and today we're talking about how to grow your team. So yesterday was all about the why it was important to grow your team, and starting to look at some parts of how with opportunity packs, etc. So some great work doing on there with the homework. But today is a bit more around the how. Some of this focuses on some of the points that we talked about earlier on, looking at vision, looking at where we implemented attraction marketing around customer. So some of it obviously flows through because it's very much the same approach in terms of attracting people to you in order to attract them to join in Scentsy. So, excuse me. I hope you're all enjoying it all and finding it really useful. So let's kick off today with a positive start. So I know that one of your biggest areas that you find difficult is around recruiting or sponsoring new people into the business. I know for a lot of you, it's been one of the things that you said at the beginning when I asked you to list down some negative thoughts that we then banished. So obviously they're not in your head anymore, but those were some of the common things that came up was around sponsoring or recruiting new team members. So I want to start off this training by getting you all to tell me that you are a recruiting rock star. I want you to write it in the comments. I want to hear it. I want it in the homework post later on as well. I want you to start believing that you can do it, that you will do it, and that you are a recruiting rock star. Because it all starts with your mindset and belief, and that is where we need to build from for you guys. Because I tell you now, if you do believe it, it will happen. It's just if you tell yourself you're not good at recruiting, then you're right. If you tell yourself that you can't recruit, you're right. There is no other way of looking at it other than you're right. Whatever you tell yourself, you are right. So if you start telling yourself that you are a great recruiter, that you are a great sponsor, that you do it all the time, you can do it, you can have those conversations, then it will happen. So we're here changing the script, and I want you to start believing yourself. So put it in the comments. You are a recruiting rock star. I want to see it in there. And that is the kind of upbeatness of this training today. Upbeatness is definitely a word. But it is positive, it is excited, it's passionate. You've got to have all of that within you to go forward. So we're starting there. So I want to see that in the comments. So we now know who your target audience is. We looked yesterday at who your customers were, aligning that to, I'm loving seeing these comments, I am a recruiting rock star, yahoo! We looked at who, we looked at where your target audience was in the same way that we did with customer. We looked at who you should be aiming your marketing to and having that marketing strategy plan. So we will be looking at creating relatable content on the basis of that. So using stories, positivity, influencing, inspiring others, and just pure attraction marketing. Not using flyers, kit photos, join me, all those kind of things we want to largely avoid. Obviously, when there's the huge kit that you get free this month if you hit a certain incentive, then obviously there is some promotion element to that. But generally, in terms of talking about the opportunity, it has got to be around attraction marketing. It cannot just be a flyer. It cannot just be a join link, etc., etc. It needs to be you showing a relatable story, how it's working for you, and therefore how they can then see it's would work for them. So it's about making it valuable to them and how it can help them in whatever way your customer needs. And your customer, even though it's a targeted audience, will still have different ways of triggering those needs. There are multiple things that we talked about in the example of a potential team member in terms of the audience. So we looked at Sophie, who uses childcare after school because she doesn't get out on time to pick children up. She works a few days a week. She sometimes misses her children's nativity plays, etc., etc. She wants to help people. She's committed and driven to giving her family more, and she wants to build new relationships. So within that target audience, there's still lots of area to focus on in terms of how you lay out that story. You can touch on many different things within that. Sharing your lifestyle is an absolute winner, and sharing how that then can work for other people. That is where we need to focus the attraction marketing for joining your team. There is one important thing that we need to discuss where we're talking about posting on social media and showing what you can gain from Scentsy. If you show anything that you can gain from Scentsy, be it income, be it free Scentsy, be it incentive trips, be it that you've been able to book a holiday, whatever it is that you're sharing as a gain from Scentsy, you must include the income disclosure statement. I'll get there in the end. You must include that in your post. One of the tips that I'm going to take you through on the last day talks about not putting links in your main post. So I just want to get that out now, although I will cover it as a proper tip on the last day. So avoid putting links in your actual post. And that's all to do with Facebook algorithms that I will talk through later on as to why when we get to that point. But because I wanted this to be covered now, and I'm talking about adding a link, I just wanted to put it in there. So in your post, just put see income disclosure in the comments, and always put that link in the comments if you're going to do one of these types of posts. So the income disclosure looks like this. This is what it looks like when you click the link. You can use link shorteners to make the link a bit more attractive as well. So if you Google URL shortener, you'll be able to find one there, or you can use a website like Bitly, I think it's like that, bit.ly, something like that. If you put it on Google, it'll come up, and you can create the link name to what you want. So you can just put income disclosure rather than the huge long link that it does when you download it from the Scentsy website. So on here, this is obviously, it does put some people off, and it's just about owning it. So when you write your income disclosure statement, just give a little bit of background information. It doesn't have to be long, just a short, sharp message. You can copy and paste it every time, so save it in your notes, and then it's a nice quick win for when you're doing those posts. But things to note, this is 2018. In 2019, we have seen massive growth. So this is quite out of date, but it's the last one that we have available at the moment, because obviously it takes time to bring those figures forward. But it is actually a real positive. And you can spin it as such. This business is an effort-based business. We know that. We know you get out what you put in, and there is no question of that in terms of any of these type of businesses. So if you don't do very much, you're not going to gain very much. If you do a lot and you really put that drive and effort in, you can gain absolutely unlimited potential, and that's where you want to focus it on. And you don't want people joining thinking that this is going to be really easy. You want to be realistic. It's not easy. You have to put effort in. It's just that the work isn't hard. You have to work hard, but it's not hard. You have to work hard, but the work isn't hard. I'll get my words in a tangle there. So it talks about the minimum annual salary. It talks about the maximum annual commissions. And of course, the average is going to be quite low. We have so many hobbyists. We have loads of people that do this as a side hustle. Loads. That part of our market is absolutely massive, and that's amazing. This is why I love this business, because it works for so many different people on so many different levels. And as a result, obviously, you're not going to show a smooth line. It's going to be really different. You're going to have an average that's weighted down if a massive proportion of your market is there to do it for friends and family, to do it for some free Scentsy, to do it as a little bit of a side hustle, all the way up to people that want to do it as a full-time massive business. But you are going to have that skew as a result. So obviously the minimum annual salary is on there, the maximum is on there, and this is going back, as I said, to 2018. We are a growing market in the UK. This is only the UK. This does not include America or Australia in terms of those regions. So we are growing every day, and I would love to see the 2019 one pulled out quite soon. So hopefully keep an eye out for that, because it will update. And it really does show that it can work for anyone. That minimum annual salary can really help focus your hobbyists. It can really help show that, look, people are on our books that just do it for a little bit of extra income, or just do it for some free Scentsy. But it also shows the maximum that was there for 2018, and it was over £130,000 yearly salary. So if you work that out, that's nearly £11,000 a month if you divide that by 12. That's huge, huge. So the potential is there, and this is going back to 2018, where we then saw massive growth in 2019, as you all know. And then excuse me, the average annual commissions is on there is £2,000. Again, going back to 2018, it was £2,000 in a year, which works out as about £183 a month average. So that just shows you that even with the hobbyists in there, there's still great potential of earning that additional income alongside people, to make them see that actually this is something that can work in so many different ways for so many different people. So the income disclosure statement is a legal requirement for network marketing businesses. So we do have to show it if we're talking about anything that we gain. But you can see that actually there is some absolute positives from sharing that. And as long as you give a bit of context, then people can understand it a bit better as well, and it can really work for you. So we'll get that out of the way. I just wanted to cover it off because obviously it's really important when we're talking about posting on social media. So back to how you need to talk to everybody. You need to be talking to your customers about the opportunity regularly, and it needs to be a habit, an absolute habit. So if you think about the conversations that you could have, if someone's ordering lots from you, if they are one of your best customers, they are a perfect Scentsy consultant. They are already a Scentsy consultant without the commission. If they are buying loads, if they are sharing it with their friends and family, if they are holding parties, if they are doing all of those kind of things, they are the perfect consultant. They're already pretty much a consultant. You need to be asking them to join you. You need to keep asking them to join you. Do it subtly, word it differently, fill them with confidence, fill them with compliments, tell them why they would be amazing. But you need to be asking your best customers to join on a regular basis. And never fear, as I said yesterday, never fear recruiting your best customers. It is so much easier to find new customers than it is to find new team members, and to find someone that's got that spark and that real passion for Scentsy that your best customers have. So that's really key. And there are so many different ways you can word it. You can word it as like, you're already doing it, you're doing amazing. Those photos that you took looked absolutely amazing. You just spent £100. You could have got X number of discount off of that if you'd have been ordering via yourself from your commission, plus the fact it would have been accruing some free Scentsy at some point as well. You just shared it with your friends because you love it. You've just done a great post and it's got loads of interaction. You've held a party and look how many people came and ordered. Continue it, things like that. There's so many different ways that you can talk to them about why they would be amazing. If they're your best customers, they already love it. That's half the thing, is being passionate about it and being really keen to share it and talk about it. And when people come around their house and they notice that scent and they go, oh, that's my Scentsy, that's the job. That's what we do. We share it. You know, if they turn around and say they're no good at selling, they're already selling by being that sharing person, doing recommendations. So your best customers are your first port of call. Absolutely your first port of call for asking people to join. Then the other things to think about are around your host kit. So every time you're doing your bulk orders and you accrue £245 worth of orders to get that qualifying order, you can be offering the opportunity to join for £25.50, I think it is. So if you've got that credit on there, then you've got that opportunity. You need to be having those conversations as well. You need to be offering that out. You need to let people know that there is this other option. If money is an object for some people around the £85 kit, this is a way in. This is a huge way in. And you can do it every time you've got a qualifying party order. So when you're doing all your bulk orders, do separate orders. Get to 245, start a new one. Get to 245, start a new one, and keep offering that host kit out. If you don't need extra stock at the time, you don't need any more wax, then that order needs to be used to get someone to join for the £25 kit. And do you know how many times I've had that conversation and it's actually turned up that they've then ordered the full kit because they see the value and they get that conversation going, and you just build that relationship, and it just ends up that they go and get the full kit because that's, you know, the host kit is amazing. It's a £50 kit. It's way more value than that. But the £85 kit has got even more value compared to the price. So it's a great conversational opener to talk about that host kit, or even holding their own party to get the kit, because they could get a party order big enough that they get that kit for free. So there's a massive thing, and you really need to, as a tip that I shared yesterday, I think it was, around the Grow with the Flow incentive as well, those tips that we've been sharing, absolutely key to make the most out of that opportunity. And it should become a habit to offer it all the time. It should be your in your follow-up, when you're talking to people, when you're following up with orders and you're following up with how they're doing, have they considered joining, we've got a really good join offer this month, you know, things like that, or that you've got that host kit again, just opening up those conversations. And sending out your opportunity packs that we mentioned yesterday, sending them out with orders all the time. It needs to be a habit. You need to send those opportunity packs out with orders so that they are in people's houses and they have a little read and they start to plant that seed around whether they would want to join, and then you can follow that up. You can leave it, you know, as part of your follow-up process. You can say, oh, what did you think of the opportunity pack that I put in your order? Did you have any questions about it at all? Was you tempted? Was there anything that was worrying for you or that you weren't sure about? Just use it as that conversational opener all the time. And in terms of the compliments, it's absolutely key. You can look at so many different ways of getting people in there. If you see someone with absolutely great social media skills, that they have high interaction on their posts, that they are an influencer, that they are great at selling on buy and sell sites, so they're great at shifting stuff in their house. So they've always, you know, selling kids' toys and stuff, and their posts are really good, and they always sell stuff through sharing of their items on buy and sell groups. They are all kind of things that you can link and talk to people about why they would be good with Scentsy, because again, they're already doing some of that work that we need to do to share our business. So look at ways where you can fill people with confidence and compliments by what they're already doing and how that can relate into Scentsy. Also, another key area is around learning how to flip problems. So someone might say, well, I'm too busy, I don't have time, I'd love to, but too busy, no time, no money for the kit, I'm trying to save at the moment, I desperately need more money, but I'm trying to save, blah, blah, blah. All of those kind of things. And you need to be able to learn to have the answers to those problems straight away and not just go, oh, okay then. You need to have an answer. So let's take the too busy. I'd love to join Scentsy, but I'm far too busy to do that. I couldn't fit it in. Well, do you know what? Actually, it's a great way of working Scentsy is when you're busy, because it works so well. The more people you interact with, the more people you can share your passion with. It works so flexibly around you. So if you only got like an hour in the evening, that's perfect. You can schedule your posts. You can talk to people as you go around Scentsy. You can have some in your bag ready to just hand out. And I'm here to support you as well as my team. We've got a great team group. We've got loads of training and tips and tools, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are letters ready to print out. You just need to add your own details to them. We have so many time-saving tips and hacks that you can use and just be ready to run with your business. And we have loads of people in that same situation. We have loads of people that are full-time, they've got kids, and they still find that it works so well working around all that because of how flexible and how fun it is and how supported we are. That's a great way of flipping that problem and giving them the answer that they are looking for, that they are doubting because they can't see a way of fitting anything more in. But when they start seeing that actually half of it is just having a conversation with somebody that they're already talking to and just slipping Scentsy in. It is as simple as that. You are slipping Scentsy into your life, and it grows and grows and grows and becomes more, or it becomes a hobby and you just do it for you. But whatever way round, it just works because it's flexible and because it's up to you. So that they are some great ways of getting people talking about joining, getting those conversations opening, attracting people to you, and then obviously building relationships is key. You need to get to know people. You need to know what their goals are in life. You need to know what they're aspiring to. You need to know what their stories are, because that will allow you to make yourself relatable. It will allow you to be intentional with your marketing, which is crucial. To be that relatable, to be that being able to tell a story and being attracting people to you is so important. Just to recap, never assume as well. Never assume that someone won't join, that they won't do it. Always ask anyway. You never know where someone might surprise you, and it might be someone you never thought of asking before. So don't assume. Use an attractive approach. Remember to be that magnet that we talked about when we did attraction marketing with a customer, that you need to be a magnet for your team sponsoring as well. Show the vision of what they can achieve and how it can work for them. Go beyond your first circle. Don't just rely on the people that you know right now. Go beyond that. Get to know people, learn their stories and their goals and what they want in life and what is important to them. And have your arrows out. It has always, always, always got to be about helping them, not helping you. Of course, as we've talked about before, by helping other people, you get to help yourself. And that is a fabulous benefit of this company. You get to spend your life helping people and making a difference, and then it all comes back in a reward to yourself. But always keep that arrow out. Show them what it means for them. Show them how it would change their life. Show them what they can gain from it. All about them. And problem solve. Use those problem solving solutions to their queries, their worries, their concerns or anxieties. Think ahead. Think about how you would feel, the kind of question that you might get, the most common answer you get when you ask someone about joining, the too busy, the no time, all those kind of things. And think about what you could say. Think about how Scentsy does actually alleviate that concern and work around it. And have that when someone asks you them, you've got them all covered. So that's it for team part 2. How to grow your team. So your homework is obviously listen to the live and feedback as we have been doing. I want to see also you writing down in the comments on here and in the homework as well that you are a recruiting rock star. I want you to list 10 people down on your current customers or current network that you think would be amazing on your team, that you would love them to be part of your team, and I want you to message 5 of them today. About building that network, but then also ask them about joining. So just make sure it's done in the right, relatable story way. Attract them to you, but I want you to message them about that opportunity today. Then I want you to create a post that tells a story to your target audience. So using what you did yesterday on identifying who that was, and do a post today around that. About how they can share the love for it and add value for them, and then I want you to screenshot that on the homework post, and then I want you to write down 10 people outside of your current network that you can build a network with that would be amazing consultants. So that can be people that you've not already got in your network as such, but you know of. So it can be your hair salon, it can be someone at the dentist, the doctors, the vets, whatever it is. But just look at them as your cold market. You don't know them as it stands, and then start building relationships with them, and then lead on to it in the future. But I want you to start looking at that cold network about those people that would be amazing consultants, and list down 10 people. So you might not know their names, but 10 people. So you can put hairstylist, receptionist at the dentist, those kind of things that you think actually it would work really well for them, and you just need to build that network up with them first. So that's the homework for today, and I'll put that up obviously on a separate post. But I hope you found today useful. I hope it's given you some ideas for how you can go forward with your posts and your conversations to start really going for it and building your team. Tomorrow we'll be on day 8, and we'll be looking at action, the action part of the diagram for this course. We will then be doing action and looking at that area. So I hope you have a great day, and I will speak to you all soon. Take care. Lots of love.